what's up, people? Ryman, thank you for tuning in again on this wonderful Monday or Sunday when you're watching this, or Tuesday or whatever you happen to watch this. But I'm recording this on a Sunday and I'll post it on a Monday. So right now I'm in the studio. The reason I'm here is because, the photo studio. You know it's a photo studio because I got my strobes, pop, pop, pop. But I had a photo session from 2 to 4. We planned this like a month ago. Last week I said, hey, so what time you want the studio to be booked from? 1 to 3, 2 to 4, 5 to 7. She said 2 to 4. Last night she said, where are we going to meet? I'm like, let's meet in Shibuya, because that's where the studio is. And about an hour ago, she's like, I can't go. Or maybe, sorry, I can't go. Like, and then I asked her, do you mean you can't go at the time? I was like, let's meet up an hour early, or you can't go for the whole session. And now I'm in the studio and she hasn't responded. That's just messed up. Because I got to pay for it regardless, you know. Nothing's free. But anyway, I think this looks nice. It's different than the wall, kind of this infinity. So since we have this kind of space, let's talk about some space. Crazy. How do you define crazy? Many people will say Donald Trump is crazy. Now I bring up Donald Trump because every time I bring up Trump, so many people have so many strong feelings. Bring up any other thing and people can care less. Bring up poverty, no response. Bring up African Americans being locked up for no reason, no response. Bring up slavery, no response. Bring up child molestation cases, no response. Bring up Donald Trump, all of a sudden they have something to say. Isn't that amazing? But it is what it is, right? Crazy. I live in Japan, as you know. I see things with my eyes because they work. And sometimes I have conversations with other Japanese people and I'll be saying something that I have seen with my eyes, and they will tell me, no, not in Japan. And I'm like, are you serious? I seen it with my eyes. Crazy. Belief systems are also crazy. People believe what they believe if you believe what they believe. Now, if two people believe the same thing, then you have the same beliefs and life is easy. But if one person believes A and one person believes B, you will see, you see what I did there? A, B, you will see. Anyway, so if two people have they see two different ways, then they will sit there and argue about those two things and probably say something like, all those people who believe B are wrong and crazy, da da da. And then another person, all those people. But then the third person, he's like, there's A, I don't believe them, and there's B, they're both crazy. Like, crazy. So, I was, actually, I'm not even going to go there, but crazy. I'm crazy, as you probably don't know. And I guess what I'm going to do with this rest of this video is just talk about some crazy moments in my life. Impossible. So, for example, I'm in this studio. This studio cost about $35 if we translate it. I'm not doing no exchange rates or nothing, but $35 an hour. You get some backgrounds, white, black, green, yellow, and pink, I believe. And you get some studio lights. And you get a trigger, pop, pop, pop. So I guess I got two 400 watts and two 100 watts and one different type kind of thing. You get a heater, which you maybe could hear. You get a dressing room and a bathroom, and you get free Wi-Fi. $35 an hour. Now, 4 years ago, I was like, you know what? I want to make videos more professional. So I started asking around, where can I get these backdrops? Where can I get these studio lights? And this is where the crazy comes in. No one knew. I asked photographers, they didn't know. I asked people who should know, because they're in the industry or whatever, but they didn't know. I asked my friends, who of course they wouldn't know because they don't know. But no one knew. I asked Japanese people. I showed them pictures on like, well, this is what it is in America. Don't we have the same thing in Japan? We don't know. And it was driving me crazy. So then I found a site in the States that was willing to ship to America. And I decided, you know what? I believe in myself. Oh, we could tie this into, the other day someone's like, you need to do more risks. People tell me that all the time. Do risk. Be more risky. You play it too safe. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't run around holding up all the things I did that are risky, or the risky things I'm doing at that point. But anyway, so how I ended up getting my setup was I bought it from this shitty company, and they sent their shitty products over to Japan. I paid $500 in shitty weight freight charges, and then I paid whatever price they were charging me, so it came to like $1,200, $1,500, round and around, $1,500 US dollars. It comes to my house. Now, if you've been watching me long enough, you probably saw me posting a lot of more green screen like videos. I did the Christmas song. I did some, I had the equipment. Now I'm using it. But maybe I talked about it. I don't remember. But they didn't send me all the equipment. It was missing some pieces. And I called them like, how can you send me some equipment that I paid and I was waiting for, and now that I have it, it's going to take another 10 years for you to send it back to me? And we're going back and forth, and I'm like, I demand a refund, and you reverse the charges. But they're like, we can't do that. So eventually I ended up sending back half of the stuff. They reimbursed half of my charges. And long story short, it was a big ordeal. Fast forward 5 years from now, the first model I met her on Craigslist. That's a story in itself. I will condense the story. So I met her on Craigslist because at this time I'm like, I want to shoot people. I want to shoot some Playboy-esque or pinup or glamour. I don't know, whatever you call it. But there's my link down to my portfolio, the pictures I'm shooting. These are what I see all the time on billboards and what I see in Sex in the City, like this kind of. So I wanted to try it myself. I got a camera, let me try it. So I couldn't find any models. Same problem. I'm like, where am I going to find models? I asked my friends to be models, like, we're not models. And too many people in Japan run up to girls on the streets and they're like, hey, you want to be a model? And then, they believe every guy who's asking if they want to be a model is out to get them, which is probably true. Because when I talk to the models now, they tell me, yo, this guy, he's all like, can I get closer? Can I get closer? And then he got closer. He's all like, can I touch? And he's all touching her. And she's all like, hey, man, don't be touching me. But what's interesting about that story, she didn't leave the photo session. And she showed me the pictures from the photo session, like, look at the photos, they're so beautiful. But she didn't say, oh my gosh, I stood up and I left. But to each their own. Anyway, so I'm on Craigslist, and this is what it said. It said, hey guys, are you looking for a sexy Japanese girl to take pictures of? Well, I'm your woman. Okay, she didn't say it like that, but it was written. I put in I'm your woman, but it was like, hey, you want to meet hey, do you want to take pictures of a sexy Japanese woman? I'm a little bit older, but I look thin, and I have soft skin. And then right below that, and I don't have any STDs. Now, I don't know why it said it like that, and I was thinking why it said it like that, but at that point, she was the first model that I came across, because I asked people, no one knew. So then we had our first meeting. She came in, and it's not my aim to make fun of anybody. I'm trying to, but I have to describe her in a way that you will get what I'm feeling. So she was shaped like a testicle, if that's accurate, if that's kind. The testicles are needed in the world for reproduction, so it's not a diss to her. I'm not throwing any shade. Anyway, so this testicle-shaped woman sat down. I'm like, ugh. But I wanted to start taking pictures. It was about 9 months ago, whatever. And she was the best that I could find because I couldn't find anyone who knew. And so we had a little conversation. I'm like, these are the kind of pictures I want to take. And she's like, oh, that's fine. And then I wanted to tell this story for a long time. So this video might be a little bit longer than usual. And I'm probably going around and around and around. But it's about crazy. So let me just stay. All right. So, I showed her the pictures, and I was like, "Hey, by the way, can you put on some glasses?" Because I one of the pictures I showed was this the model or the woman, I don't know. The picture had a woman wearing glasses. Like, can you put on some glasses? And she said she had nice legs, and I was just like, yeah, but can you wear some jeans and the glasses, and we'll be good to go. And she's like, okay. The next day, I get an email from her saying, you shouldn't tell people how they should dress. You're trying to change me. This is who I am. This is who I am. I could imagine if we were face to face, you'd be like, don't change me. And I was like, what? Ain't nobody trying to change you. Just put some glasses on. You're still gonna be the same person. But I think she watched Superman, because obviously when he's wearing glasses, nobody can tell who he is. Different person. Little segue. I want to see the new movie that's coming out. I don't know if it's being worldwide released, but the Batman versus Superman. I'm not so interested in Ben Affleck, but I just want to see how it. But anyway, so at that point, I'm just like, man, that's crazy. She's crazy, but I really want to do my photo shoot. So then I emailed her back saying, now this is hard for me. I never did this before, not to this extent. But I said, I am so. Maybe I couldn't say it face to face, but at least I could type, I am sorry that I said what I said. It took me a while to write this email, but basically, I'm sorry for trying to change you. I don't believe that, but I wanted to work with her, so say whatever. Now, usually I would never say whatever, but I was talking to some people, and they're like, just say what you gotta say to get what you gotta get, which is like crazy. So I did. So I said, hey, you're beautiful. In my mind, you're a beautiful shaped testicle, but you're beautiful, and I like you just the way you are. But luckily, it wasn't face to face. So, and long story a little bit longer. So I wrote all this saying, I'm sorry, and I really, really want to work with you. I'm so lucky to have found such a beautiful model, such as yourself. Your skin is so soft. I was pouring it on thick. And then eventually she emailed me back, that's right. You should say all that. You got to be careful, man. As in the industry. And then she starts saying stuff about the industry of being a model. Like, now, she's not a model. She's just some woman who is on Craigslist who puts, I don't have STDs in her message. She's some kind of other person. But whatever. So we arranged for the photo shoot, and I asked her, do you know where I can shoot? Do you know any photo studios with a white background and some lights? Because that's what I want to do. She's like, no, I don't. I'm like, but you're a model. And she's like, I don't know. But you're Japanese. Type that shit. Google that shit. But she couldn't. And she didn't. So the best place she could find was in a piano studio, because she plays the piano. And I looked at it and I'm like, we can make it work. I bought some cloth, so made a little backdrop using black or whatever. So it worked out, So we're having her shoot, and it's my first time. It was supposed to be a nude shoot, but she was charging some crazy prices. So I'm like, how about you just do like a lingerie shoot, So she agreed. We had the shoot. We're starting off clothes. Then she's like, should I take, did she say that? I don't know how, but actually I think, should I take off my top now? Because this is my first time, so I'm like, this is crazy, oh my God. So she takes off her top, and it was, I felt like I was misled. She said she was shaped beautifully, but she wasn't. Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I swear if I would show you the pictures, you would not behold the picture that she sees in her head. Whatever. So, you take the pictures, and she doesn't have any poses. You're supposed to be able to work it, strike the pose. She wasn't striking nothing. It struck me odd that she thinks she's a model. But now we're going to stop here. We're going to pause. We're going to put a little pin in that little thought. She thinks she's a model. Now, Japan is pretty interesting, I noticed. Because after the fact, I did find studios and I did find models and I did find every kind of twisted thing. So here's one. In Japan, you can find yourself like an idol, AKB looking girl, and she'll come to some studio like this, and you'll pay like $200, and they'll let you borrow a camera, and she'll be in some skimpy little swimsuit doing like that, and there'll be like 15 photographers all. Now, is she a model? Well, let's see. She's paid to stand there. She's posing. There's photographers taking her pictures. Yeah, she's a model, but that's not a model. But it is, right? So that's Japan. People will, and then there's AKB. People pay money to shake their hands. I mean, they buy CDs, or I can go on. You probably know more than me. You're watching a guy in Japan, but you probably watch all the crazy stuff on YouTube about Japan. So anyway, so she is correct in that. So take that pin out. So she is modeling, but she's not a model. So at one point, she's like, her back is towards me, and she bends over, and she's like, "Should I touch myself?" Just think of the nastiest woman or man, depending on your preference or your gender or whatever. Think of the nastiest person and they bend over and they're like, "Should I touch myself?" I was worried my camera's going to crack because these lenses are expensive, and just the tiniest little thing could fracture the. So I'm like, sure, go ahead. So anyway, the session ends and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this was the greatest shoot I ever had." And I probably think I'm pretty sure it was because I was actually trying to photograph her. I can imagine when she's saying, "Can I touch myself?" and the photographer was like, yeah, you can. Like, to each their own, right? So I came in there, I took my pictures, I got into Lightroom. I only been using Lightroom for like 8 months. Lightroom is an Adobe product. It's like Photoshop, but especially when you Google it, whatever. And I only been using it for like 8 months, so it took me a very long time to edit these pictures. But I edited it down, and I sent her like 10 of the best. I had 2 sets. 10 were kind of just portraits, and the other 10 were kind of some creative light angles and mirror reflections. So I figured she wasn't interested in those, so I sent her the other ones, and she was all like, "Oh, you make me look like a model. Oh my gosh, you're so great, you're so great, you're so great." Oh, gassing my head up. And then she's like, "Is there any more? You said you took so many pictures. Can I see them all?" So I sent her the other ones, and she's all like, "I don't like these pictures so much. They're not so..." Because it wasn't her face or her body. It was just like kind of a little arm here with a reflection there, because I was just trying to be creative. So then, a couple of weeks, months passed by, and I'm like, "Hey, I got another project. Would you be interested?" She's like, "Sure." I'm like, "But I'm not paying you this much money. Can you bring that price down just a little bit?" And she's, "I am a model. You're trying to treat me like, I forget how she said it. But she was just like, "My standards are this high, and you are saying that you are insulting me." So, like, insulting you? What? You insult me? But then again, this is crazy. So she has the right to feel insulted, just as I have the right to feel insulted too. So I said, "Okay, whatever." So I let it be. A few months later, she emails me, "Hey, I have some new pictures." And she shows me some pictures, and I swear those pictures look like the pictures I sent her, as if she learned something from me, and she's sending me the pictures, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. And I said, "They're nice," because I'm a nice guy. I'm not a nice guy, but I'm just whatever. They're nice, I said. So then I gotta check the time, because I actually got another shoot after this. Yeah, but anyway, so I say they're nice, and then she's like, "So you wanna have some photo session with me in the future?" So now at this point, I probably have had 28 sessions after hers. So 28 days later. You see what I did there? Nah. And I'm like, there's a system called TFP, Trade for Pics. Trade for Pics, or Trade for Photos. which basically means photographer who's coming up in the game, he's going to take some pictures. Chicka, 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 chicka. Model who's coming up in the game, she needs nice pictures. So you trade your time, and it's just a win-win for everybody, you know? Usually the photographer will pay for the studio, and then the model will do the makeup, so we don't have to hire some makeup, and it works out. So I tell her this, you know, there's a system, trade for pics, are you interested? She said, I see you got smart. You trying to charge for nothing. You trying to trick me. And she's going off like a crazy woman. And I'm like, no, that's what, because by 20, sometimes I pay the model, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I learn from them, sometimes I won't. Oh, they just rap right there. You see what I did there? And she was just like, you're trying to get over on me, but I'm not so stupid. So then I Google it, and there's Wikipedia, and there's just, it's common knowledge. So I find a site that's kind of in Japanese, easy English, and it has basically what is TFP. So I send it to her. She reads it, and she's like, well, I don't do that because that's not. And she has another big old paragraph, and I'm like, you know what? Don't email me no more. Have a nice life. That's kind of my thing now. When I'm done talking with people, I just say, don't email me no more. We're done. And then I never hear from them. It makes life easier. Crazy. Alright, so I'm out. I hope you enjoyed my crazy talk. And please share your crazy moments. What do you think is crazy? Because I'm really interested in what other people think is crazy. What's crazy for me might not be so crazy for you. Alright, say goodbye.